Hi everybody, it's Eliot from Magoosh, and in this video I'm going to talk about a brand new development from IELTS, and that is the release of the IELTS Indicator exam. Okay, this is something that they are rolling out in response to all the temporary exam center closures in many places around the world due to COVID-19. Okay, so I want to explain what we know so far about IELTS Indicator, and you can see whether or not this is something that you might be able to take advantage of here. Okay, so let's talk about IELTS Indicator. First of all, what is it? So IELTS Indicator is an English exam that you can take from home, okay, during COVID-19 and all these suspended and closed exam centers, okay? So your performance on this exam is going to be marked by IELTS examiners, and you're going to get results from the test in about 7 days is what they say. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind, IELTS says that this is not intended to fully replace the official IELTS exam, at least not yet. Okay, so you're going to possibly see many schools treating this as a kind of provisional exam, something that will give an indication of your English language skill, but may not be treated in the same exact way that they would treat an official IELTS score. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little later in the video, but just keep in mind that this is something they're trying to offer for test takers and for institutions so that people can at least get some sense of your English language skill, even though it may not be treated or regarded as an official test yet. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is that this is for academic IELTS only, at least right now. Okay, there is no general training version of the IELTS Indicator exam, at least not yet. Okay, so what's on the test? So the test has the same 4 sections as the IELTS exam. And in fact, IELTS says it has the same timing and the same format as the in-person exam. So if you've been studying for IELTS, then your preparation is also going to help you with the IELTS Indicator exam. All right, so the speaking test, all right, is going to be a live test just like the in-person exam, except you'll do it over video chat. I don't yet know exactly how the logistics of that work out, but they've got a way to schedule a video call with an examiner for test takers who are taking the IELTS Indicator exam. All right, now what will you need to take the test? So very important, you're going to need to have a stable internet connection, okay? You're going to need to have some quiet place in your apartment or in your house where you can take the exam. You're going to need a laptop or desktop computer, okay? So you will not be allowed to take the test on a tablet or a phone. You must also have speakers for the listening section, and they say that headphones are great, and I would advise that if you're going to take this exam, get a good pair of headphones so you can hear very clearly. And then for the speaking section, you're going to need to have a microphone. All right, so with all of this information, what should you do? All right, first step, my advice is to try to figure out or gather as much information as you can about whether or not your institutions where you plan to apply are going to, in some way, accept IELTS Indicator. Okay, so as I said at the beginning of the video, different institutions are going to have a different approach to this exam. All right, some institutions I've learned today, just today, have indicated they will accept IELTS Indicator. Some institutions will accept it as a kind of provisional score, and then maybe later on you'll have to submit scores for an official IELTS exam. And I would imagine some institutions will choose not to accept IELTS Indicator at all. All right, so the important thing here is for you to try to gather as much information as you can. Check in with the schools where you plan to apply on their admissions websites. I would even advise reaching out to see if they have plans to accept IELTS Indicator. If you can't find anything on the website, just try to figure out if this is even going to apply to you, okay? IELTS is also going to keep a list of institutions that are accepting IELTS Indicator, and if you look down in the description below, we're going to put some links there for you so you can gather information about that kind of thing, okay? Also, equally important is whether or not IELTS Indicator is even offered in your area. Now, IELTS says that this is going to be offered in places where exam centers are temporarily closed. Okay, so if that applies to you, then it's very likely that you are going to have the opportunity to take IELTS Indicator. So try to figure that out as well. That's going to be different for everyone out there depending on where you are. All right, so if all those things are true, and if this seems like a good opportunity for you, then consider registering. Again, we've got information for you down below about IELTS Indicator. You can find out registration information there as well. And just keep in mind that bookings are going to begin April 22nd of 2020. So that's coming up soon. Okay, so that's what we know so far about IELTS Indicator, this brand new offering from IELTS. Okay, so again, we're going to put links down below from IELTS for you to go get more information from the official site. We're also going to put a link to our blog, the Magoosh IELTS blog down below, because we are going to keep you updated the best we can on the latest information about IELTS Indicator as we go. Okay, so make sure to check back in there and check back in on this YouTube channel because we'll also post updates here as well. Okay, so good luck, and I hope you're all staying healthy out there. And again, we'll keep you up to date on the latest information about IELTS.